happening, but Nigeria won their first game in that tournament yesterday. We're going to talk about that on the show. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's another blistering morning of football, and I'm excited to be here. Kudos to the teams that represented England in the Europa League. We'll dive into it just a minute.
Good morning, also.
Good morning. Another interesting night of football. Angie is not good enough. Now, I think this is high time to say the Scottish League has a way of exposing a very bad managers, giving them trophies and exposing them when they come to big stages.
Okay, we're going to talk about all that on the show because we have the Europa League that happened yesterday. So we're going to talk about that. I'll give you the results then. We'll talk about some of those games. Okay, let's start. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FN Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, let's start with the games in the Europa League. I'll give you the result of yesterday and I'll give you we'll talk about some of them. For yesterday's result, the English team did well, represented us well in the Europa League, and they won. All of them won their games apart from Nottingham Forest. Okay, the result of yesterday game: Panathinaikos won, go ahead equals 2, so they went away to win. Roma lost at home to Lille. FCSB 0, Young Boys 2. Ludogorets 0, Real Betis 2. We're going to talk about that again. Victoria Pleasant 3, Malmo 0. Fenerbahce beat Nice 2-1. Bologna and Freiburg played a 1-1 draw. Okay. Celtic lost at home to Braga 2-0. That's what Nonso is talking about. He had not played that game 90 minutes, but he couldn't get a goal. Nottingham Forest lost at home to Midtjylland. Lyon beat Salzburg 2-0. Ghent lost at Ferencváros at home 1-0. Maccabi Tel Aviv won Dynamo Zagreb 3. Sturm Graz beat Rangers of Scotland 2-1. So 2 Scottish League teams lost yesterday. Celta Vigo beat Kwak 3-1. Porto 2, Sevena Vesda 1. Okay, Freiburg lost at home to Aston Villa 2-0. Basel beat Stuttgart at home 2-0. Okay, let's talk about the English team. The English team won at home. Aston Villa won. Went away to win 2-0. Fantastic game for Aston Villa to win that game.
Yeah, Aston Villa have done it. Like Nonso said yesterday, their form in the Europa League has been on fire, except where they're stumbling in the Premier League to score a goal in the league, and they've come out of that thing right now because they won over the weekend and they are back
scored in the previous game. So a 1-man down New Sunderland, and they scored. I think they scored another 3 goals against Fulham again. So they are back. They are out of the shadows of not scoring goals again. But again, a good game for them.
But generally, this is Una Emery's tournament. Normally, he's good. When you go Champions League, sometimes you do well. In fact, he doesn't really do well in Champions League. Europa League Europa League is just territory, and I think he has won it 4 times as a manager.
Yeah, I think Una Emery is his tournament. Unfortunately, he joins the tournament when they're about going to the knockout stages. This time, he's starting from the group stage and all of that. So I think winning that game the way they did was a comfortable win for them. And they've come out of the shell of what they were going through in that team. Looking at the likes of the characters they have in the team, hopefully they can take these performances and keep improving. Otherwise, they are going to struggle this season because we're already seeing the strugglers camp setting up in the Premier League, and they wouldn't want to join the strugglers camp this season.
Yeah, they should. They wouldn't. They need to start fighting for their own result. If not, they'll enter that relegation battle. Even though, truthfully, he has done a great job with Aston Villa since he took over, qualified them for the Champions League. I think they lost the last game last season. That's why they are not playing the Champions League. They are playing this Europa League. So, a good game for them. If you look at that game, Bayandi scored in the second half, and Johnson himself scored again and won. Like, even though that in this game that Feyenoord had 19 shots in total and 8 of them were on target.
Many of those shots came from the break.
Yeah,
many of them came from counter attack. Just boom, you chase after them, you get to the opposition fast, you play the shot so you don't lose it and they attack you. You get the goal kick there, you force them to delay and you come back. Aston Villa had more of the. I think that game was a beautiful game. Buendia is now. I think now what he's doing now is gradually implementing or infusing Buendia back into the team. Because before, I don't know what happened. I don't know why he sent him on loan first. Then after loan, he was permanent on the bench. Then, and this is the guy you brought in from Norwich to come. It was from Norwich to come and at least represent or replace Jack Grealish when he left. All of a sudden, he's not good enough for the team. But I think I feel like right now he's seeing the use of Emiliano Buendia and he's bringing him back into the team.
Okay, let's see what happens today. Let's talk about the other English team. Nottingham Forest again lost at home. You know, I was looking at their owner. He was putting his hand on his head and says, "Look at you! You sacked your performing coach because you had a little bit of disagreement. But now you have another coach." I'm not going to criticize Ange though because it's just his
Why not?
first 10 games or so of Nottingham Forest. But losing back to back games, he must. The fans are already tired because Nuno came in last day, did a magical thing for them because when they started last season, nobody could predict that they are going to finish anywhere around.
After they beat Liverpool,
Yes,
they say, okay,
after
they
nobody
had their
could
highlights.
predict that they can finish anywhere around the European competition.
Even
Everybody,
beating Liverpool wasn't great.
everybody was thinking it was a one-off.
It's a one-off.
Yeah, so
If Liverpool will lose
No,
a fluke
they will
game
say,
in
we
this
say
season.
after Liverpool, we say that was the one of they won the trophy of the season. They'll go back to losing. They'll go back to losing their games, and they kept on winning, kept on building on that momentum. Like it's like getting to the peak of your career and saying, no, you want to still continue from here. You want to be the best, and that was what they did last season. And again, this is what I'm saying: the Scottish League, whenever their top managers comes into the big leagues, they kind of expose them that they're not good enough.
I disagree with
because
you on
I've
that
seen it-
because
I've
we've
seen-
seen Brendan Rodgers come
And
from
what-
them.
and-
We've seen Sir
and he
Alex
flopped-
Ferguson come from them.
One,
We've seen a couple of other managers come from that league and do well
I
in
can
the
only
Premier League.
only confidently mention Sir Alex.
I
Ferguson.
disagree with you on that
Wait,
because
now,
we've
let me
seen
finish.
other managers.
Let me finish
Come in
now.
and do
I
it.
can only confidently mention Sir Alex Ferguson. The rest of them, Brendan Rodgers, the other managers, even this Angina, Nadia Ifolo come, and all of them have flopped. Big
Brendan
time.
Rodgers flop.
Look at his performance in Liverpool.
Bro, I don't like the way you just
He
you know,
flopped.
make
He flopped.
blanket statements.
It's not about blanket
not-
statement.
Bro,
He
it's a
flopped.
blanket statement, man. Tell me how Brendan Rodgers coming to the Premier League from the Scottish League is a flop.
Rogers did not flop.
Thank
He
you
flopped,
for
though.
crying
He
out
almost
loud.
won the
What
Premier
are we
League.
saying, man?
Almost.
The 2 points, yes.
What
now.
are we saying,
It
man?
was, don't forget, it was not even him. It was Gerrard that fell down.
Thank
That
you.
slip from Gerrard where
Thank
the guy
you.
scored. If you would have won the Premier League and not been a flop.
They almost took
I
Leicester
won't
City to
say
relegation.
that's no. If you say he flopped in Leicester
I
City,
said
yes.
they came to a big stage and
Not
flopped.
he flopped as a Liverpool
Bro,
manager.
he
No,
didn't
no, no,
flop
no,
as
no.
a
He had
Liverpool.
the worst- he
Go
had the
back
worst-
to.
That's
He
what
had- he had the
tomorrow.
one- see, he had the one. He
He
had the
will
one.
still be respected.
He had
Thank
a-
you.
Yes, he had a
In
one
England.
fantastic season
Exactly.
at Liverpool.
Go to
If that's what,
Merseyside.
if that's what,
if people have now moved from the game we are talking about.
No,
No,
we're talking about
man, you
Scottish
can't just
managers.
come in and make
Wait,
blanket
see, everybody has their own
statements,
opinion,
bro.
no? Everybody,
Yes.
Baba
everybody have
Postecoglou came from
And-
that league and won the Europa League.
with
Simple.
finishing 17th.
Whatever you can
Yeah,
say,
won the
if it's
trophy. He better than
17,
Arsenal.
you have to pay homage to the fact that they had almost 11 players
No,
in that team
but,
out.
But what I'm
So
trying
you
to
can't
say
just come here and
in
make
this
blanket
issue is,
statements, man.
the man is going to regret it. I'm very sure about that. The owner of Nottingham
Go regret
Forest.
Of
that now.
course.
Because you don't do that, no, and you are whatever. Now, what even shook me yesterday when they scored the goal that I think that will seal the win for the Wayside. Postecoglou carried his 2 hands and put on his head. I was shocked. A coach in front of your stadium.
I'm finished.
They're saying like, how can you do that kind of thing? Maybe you want to pass a message to the players, or I don't know what it is, but I won't say they played badly, but I don't know what he was doing. Chris Wood was on the bench. He put some other top players on the bench. So it was when they came in, you could see that drive and they got that penalty and that goal came in. But I think it was a bad move for him to for the owner to change the coach. But 6 games, I think this is 6 games.
6 games.
6 games. I think only 1 win or no win at all.
6
I
games.
don't think he has
No win anywhere at
no
all.
win, no
Then
win.
it's going to be a problem for
No win.
Nottingham Forest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it was 2 draws. 2 draws, all losses.
So,
I'm not sure it's up to 6 games for
6
Ange
games.
at the
6
club.
6 games now. Well, we don't forget.
First game was against
Premier
Arsenal.
League has played how many games already now?
just one.
The Premier League has played match day
His
5.
first game was against Arsenal.
Exactly.
Which was match day 3.
Uh-huh.
For
And has
them.
played cups.
And FA Cup, which Carabao Cup.
that he
Carabao
lost.
Cup where he lost to Swansea,
Yes.
with 2 goals league position. Then the next game, I think he played a draw. Then after that, he lost 2 games. Europa
So
League,
about 6 games already.
the 2 Europa League games he has played so far, he has lost them.
Their owner decided to sack Nuno. Nuno is now in West Ham. Hopefully, he will save West Ham because West Ham is fighting for their life too in the Premier League. But for Nottingham Forest, if they continue like this, they are going to go back to the Championship, which Nottingham Forest fans don't want, the owner don't want, even Ange don't want. So Ange needs to start picking up points. Even though that he came in mid-season, season has started, so he could claim that this is not his players.
Of
He
course.
doesn't know how to use this player. You can give that excuses.
That's
But
not
you
an
make sure they
excuse.
don't go
That's
down.
not an
Yes.
excuse.
So, but
That's
then
not an excuse.
they lost that game. They lost that game at home, 3-2. So it was a bad result for Nottingham Forest. So they didn't start picking up points. Except Angie, I like Angie. Angie is a cool guy, especially he's a cool guy, and he wins something in second season. People were not making fun of him yesterday,
it up.
and they are saying that the owner should wait till the second season for him to. But it might be the championship title they are going to win in the second season. So, but let's see. Okay, talking about the Scottish League, the two Scottish boys who lost their Europa League yesterday, starting with Celtic. Celtic lost at home to Braga, 2-0, and Iheanacho played 90 minutes in that game. What do you make of that? Celtic I won't say that they were winning titles when I was growing up, but they were playing Champions League football
Very well.
very well. But suddenly somehow, even if they win the Champions League, they don't even they win their Scottish League. When they come to Europe, they are just doing anyhow.
The issue with Celtic, the issue with Scotland is not that anything. See, once you don't invest money in the league,
Thank
you do
you.
not.
It
They
keeps
will
going
go
down.
far.
Yeah,
There's no two ways to it
they are
because
not in
now
that league.
even their best players are bought out to England Division 2 or Division 1. Maybe some of them go to the Premier League. You saw Ken Tierney leave, came to Arsenal, played some beautiful seasons for injuries, and is back to that place again. You saw them now taking this boy's son, Peter Schmeicher's son, to now be their goalkeeper, who made a very grave error in that first goal yesterday. You know, but this is still the controversy we're having. I believe if VAR did not make that horrendous mistake yesterday, that game would not have ended in a loss for Celtic, because the actual goal was a complete goal, clean goal. Watching the replays again this morning, I did not see one bit of evidence where the ball touched his hand, and the referee gave that VAR gave it and they cancelled that goal. That's how they could not really go ahead to win that game. So Celtic, Rangers, they are all in a bad mess now, especially Rangers too, and all of them. So I think the Celtic game was not embarrassing. It was not bad. They didn't play terribly at all. So I just think it was a case of losing, you know, by a narrow margin to a side who maybe you can say should be top team more than the Scottish League. So I would say that. But if some of these encounters where we have these VAR mistakes or errors, those results, those mistakes can change the outcome of games.
Yes.
You know, VAR is supposed to be a clear and obvious. And
we don't understand what's going on again.
That's the thing. That's what had VAR. If you are say talking about they did touch his hand a little bit, or it's not a clear and obvious error. That's what VAR should correct. But now VAR is looking at everything. They are pausing the frames. If it touched you small, I don't even know why they do it. But initially, VAR is supposed to be clear and obvious. Like there is an obvious error by the referee. Then VAR recalls that event and tell it, okay, this is an obvious error. If it's not that obvious, I don't think that they should be making those mistakes. But now everything have changed in football. But let's see if it's going to improve. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you can use a VAR to do Ojoro. You can use VAR to do Ojoro small. Do you understand? I can remember last season, I think against Liverpool, there was an offside that was cancelled, and VAR said that they didn't check it. A whole lot of
misuse
a mistake. I think they just misuse that VAR sometimes.
Even this season, we started again.
So, but let's see what happens. But Celtic lost that game. But I'm happy for Iheanacho because Iheanacho is the person that wants to pick form. He picked form and won. He picked form and won that game. I won that. I didn't and lost that game. Lost that game yesterday at home. Tierney played. Former Arsenal player played that game, and Iheanacho played. But hopefully they will start doing well in the Europa League. Okay, let's talk about the other team that have not lost a game in the Conference League. Let's move to the Conference League. I'm talking about a team that have not lost a game this season, and that is Crystal Palace. Everybody has been arguing, is it not the same formation that Crystal Palace is playing that Manchester United is playing? Why are they getting results and Manchester United is not getting results with the same formation, the same pattern, but different personalities?
How many years Oliver done for Crystal Palace?
Especially how many years? Not be last year or last year he come there.
He done it 2 seasons.
Last 2 seasons.
It's 2 seasons. This
So
is
it's
Amorim is 1.5 seasons.
1.5 seasons. So it's
this
basically
is his 3rd season.
And he had that formation in Portugal before he came.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. And he had 4. He has been playing that formation before he came, and he had 4 transfer windows.
But shockingly, go and check. That guy has not signed more than 6 players for Crystal Palace.
Yes.
You know,
He met everybody there.
they don't
No,
even give you
no.
players.
I mean, he signed. That's what
How
How many has he
signed?
signed?
And Nketiah, the Kamada guy that he brought from his former
Yes.
club.
From Germany.
Who was again? Lacroix. The defender that played with
Yes.
Maguire.
It's
Then
at
the right back.
8.
The right back, Munoz. So if in 2 seasons you have signed 8 players, how many players has Amorim signed for Manchester United?
So far, 3.
If you
Eh?
look at
Three.
it,
I can leave it 3.
oh wow.
Who brought Ugarte? Who brought let's
Not
let
Ten
me
Hag
They
now.
have what you got.
okay, so Ugarte that brought okay, so
Ten Hag.
okay, what who is
It's just these 3 people he bought this season now.
Okay,
And-
Cunha
and
and
then back.
Mbeumo and Dogu.
Mbeumo, Dogu,
Okay, yes.
Some players.
Four
So
now.
we won't say that. Don't forget, Glasner has been a good coach.
He won
He has
the
won the Europa
He won the Europa
competition
League, yes.
with a small team
Yes.
in Germany. The man knows his onions. You know what he's doing, and he has players ready to fight for it. That's what I like. Because seeing Crystal Palace, they said the club record. In I think 19 games unbeaten now
Yes.
for Crystal Palace, the longest ever they've ever seen, and they are third in the Premier League. They have won 2 games, going away to do that job neatly. You know, he could even take away Mateta in the first half
Yes.
and bring in Nketiah,
Yeah.
and Nketiah scored because it looked like that game was they were marking him Ateta not allowing him jump.
Based on the
So
physicality,
yes, so you
everybody was
need to
just
bring a
physicality.
slick,
Slick.
moving. That's what you see.
Striker,
Coach.
yeah.
You see with
Who-
that
who-
talk.
who-
Make
You
sense.
said that they talk. If you get one physical, one man striker up front, if you want to do sub change the dynamic of game,
Yes.
you bring somebody they run up and
And
down.
that's why he scored that goal yesterday. Because when
It's
Mateta,
simple because
you can't score that goal.
if
You
it was
went for cross.
if it was 2 physical standing striker you have on the bench, and
You
you,
walk.
it will still be the same thing. You're coming to do rinse and repeat with 2 different end. But this one was just running up and down. It was just running there, and you couldn't stop.
And that goal
his
came in
run,
like
and
that.
the goal came in like that. So it's just the quality of players he has and the substitute he has as well.
Well, I think the difference between Manchester United and Crystal Palace are the 2 midfielders. Huge
Hey.
and Watkins, both of them
Yes.
are controllers.
Yes.
Mm.
But that's
Okay.
why I
Adam
keep saying that,
Watson
yeah,
and
both of them.
Hughes.
But Manchester United, they have an attacking midfielder and a defensive midfielder playing in that position. But if you look at Crystal Palace, they have a
Two DMs, yes.
not actually 2 controllers. People that are good
On the ball.
who that can
See
control
this
the
life.
tempo of the game. So it's good.
And again,
So in this life now we're comparing
Crystal Palace
midfielders
to Manchester
with
United.
midfielders.
Ah!
But
I can't
it's not what it
believe this.
is.
Mm.
That was
One thing.
one
And
One thing will not make you not go play for the first top 6. So
But I
But
think
then
that
I think
you're right, you're right.
Watson
I think
can.
for the past 2 windows,
They have been good.
They've been scouting him. Big teams have been scouting him.
Yes.
Man City does
Yes.
scout and Liverpool does scout him. Man United does scout him. So I would say you can still
why
play
I'm
for
bringing
them.
up.
You're right, yes.
Why I'm bringing up is that if you look at one Conte played his
Yes.
at Chelsea, he played Drinkwater, who is a controller, and played Conte, who is a box-to-box
Yes.
midfielder that can run out. So both of them can control the tempo of the game.
Mm.
Then they have Fabregas
Who can
that
make
can still
passes
come
and
in and still control the game because Fabregas played deeper. Because you could do that. You play deeper when you play at Chelsea. You didn't play as attacking because
Yes,
of the formation they were
yes.
playing. But if you look at Manchester United, they don't have that caliber of player in that team.
Oh,
Ugarte
Bruno
come
Fernandes-
and go.
Bruno Fernandes is not really a controller.
I don't-
He's like
He should be played up forward as
he's
a
up forward
10.
as a number 10.
You know this
you
team
have,
now.
You have
Mhm.
Casemiro, who is a pure defensive midfielder. You have
And a
Ugarte.
controller.
For the part who supposed to infuse in that team is Kobe Mainoo that can actually do that
Thank you.
controlling team if
See,
he
but
gives
it
more
is
Based
opportunity
on
to
who they
play.
have available
Yes.
now.
See,
But I don't
but
know
it
why
is-
he's not
it
not
is-
even playing him.
Me, I've said it before. The Man City game where they lost to Wolf, it was Ugarte, Bruno. I've always said this combination, even since last season, this combination will not work. It will never work. No matter how energetic Ugarte is over Casemiro and you're playing a high intensity game, this combination, Bruno, Ugarte, will not work. It will never work in the Premier League because Ugarte is upgraded Fred. Recover the ball and give it back to the opponent.
Crystal Palace give them kudos.
Mhm.
But don't forget that man
Kudos to
plays
Palace.
5 defenders. I hope you know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they you can hardly also score against them. But the good thing I like about that is that this Daniel Munoz and whoever is playing left wing back, that is this boy, the new guy yesterday, Bonasosa, or what's the other boy's name, Nathaniel Mitchell. They play like midfielders too. They can score. Nathaniel Mitchell's name came out now for goal of the week. That blasted shot he played with his right leg. So yesterday you could see Munoz always running,
Always
and he
running.
even scored the
And he
first
scored
goal.
a goal, yes.
So you see that
I think their
so-
setup now is looking like the PSG setup.
exactly
Where
they
the fullbacks
Mendes
can
that they
run,
can
where the
score.
fullback can run in and the attackers can go wide.
Even score, give assist,
Give assist
and
and
score goals.
also
So,
defend.
I enjoyed that game yesterday. Like you said, that those two boys were not a constant in that side now. Adam Watson and we just was almost going down. It was in Norwich one time, came back. So players who have been there, they understand the Premier League and know how these things work. But I want to say kudos to also his 2 signings, Yeremy Pino and
Yes.
Kamada. Yeremy Pino came from Villarreal, I think.
With
And
Villarreal.
now he's doing very, very,
Kamada
very
came
well.
from Freiburg.
And so yesterday you could see the AO Crystal Palace now they can bench Balasa.
Without having a problem.
Bench Tyreek Mitchell.
They
he's
can
not playing
sell
at all.
Eze and
The
Olise and not
biggest,
feel their
the
absence.
biggest
Amazing.
is Evze's absence is not being felt.
At all.
That's the biggest.
because he
You know,
got him
Yes.
to replace Eze, and they're
there
doing
was
very
a press
well.
there was a press conference he had, and he said it's not about going to the market to get the players. It's about going to the market to get the right quality to replace whatever you're losing from your team. So
I just hope they don't lose that coach. You know they're in the discussion now,
Now Manchester
and he's looking like he doesn't want to sign.
he doesn't want to sign
And they are
because
only
of
saying
Manchester
that
United.
him or Southgate
Mm.
are likely players
Top-
now in
top
Manchester.
this thing.
But so the problem is that Manchester United are a big
the
name.
thing is press. The press already forcing Amorim because before he came, said already
No,
started.
Amorim might go. But the question is, will this man want to leave
Palace.
Palace to
He
go to
should
Man
win
United
his
and
trophy.
suffer?
He should win his trophy because now he doesn't want to sign a new contract. He should win his trophy before he.
I don't know what is wrong, but I don't know if it's but they bought him with a good amount of money, so I was expecting at least have minutes. But for now, he's not been playing football. But let's see what happens with it. Okay, congratulations to all the teams that won their game in the Europa League and the Conference League. Okay, before we move, let's move over to. I told you that every Friday we talk about the MPFL because MPFL is very, very important to us. We got Rangers International. We need to know what is happening with Rangers International in Enugu. But first, we have a game that happened yesterday. Before we go on to that, let's talk about finish up with Europe because there are games that are going to happen today in the European top 5 leagues. Bournemouth is going to play Fulham in the first game in the Premier League this weekend. Bournemouth versus Fulham. You know, these two teams are good. They have been doing well. If you look at the standings where both of them are, Bournemouth is 8th with 11 points. Fulham is 11th with 8 points. But both of them are playing today in the first game of this weekend. What do you think will happen in that game? Bournemouth is good.
For
Fulham.
me, it's a very good game. You look at the managers, you look at Andoni Iraola, you also look at Marco Silva, you look at the teams, you look at the characters they have in that side. You have Van Helsing and a couple of other guys over at the Fulham side. At Bournemouth side. At Fulham, you also have strong characters as well. You have attacking prowess in the team. And it's a game that should be an attacking game because I don't know about you. Fulham love to come out. They like to hit on the break. They like to you down. On the other hand, Bournemouth too are well disciplined defensively and they can attack. So I think it's going to be a game where hopefully I'm hoping for Fulham to edge out this game and come out with a win.
Our Nigerian boys are playing. I saw them while they were celebrating the Independence Day in England. Everybody was enjoying. The 4 Nigerian guys there, Chukwueze, Basi, and Iwobi. 3 of them are playing for Fulham. But yeah, Chukwueze have not really started since he came in. But I think we are expecting to start. Probably because it's not an obligation to buy. So normally you want to play your first team guys.
Just the numbers.
Numbers. But if you look at that game, Bo, how do you see that game pan out today?
Like you said, it's going to be a tight game. I think so. But Bournemouth are on the up. That's the thing right now. They've not really felt they are one of the big guys now trying to make headway, especially with their guys, Semenyo and the likes of them. Now, yes, they lost Zebani as well, that's strong players, but they are still looking good. And that coach looks like he knows what to do. But Marco Silva, on the other hand, is a very solid coach, astute guy who knows what he's doing. And I like the Bournemouth, the Fulham setup of late. Especially the game they played last week was a beautiful one. So I don't know. It might be.
If they play last, they lost.
That one, the one that will be get that beautiful pass.
They lost against Aston Villa.
They lost that game.
But they later lost that game.
Against Aston
You know,
Villa.
so I would say they are on the rise. When they are on their day, they are good. And now they've lost Raul Jimenez, but that's other Brazilian boy.
Munoz.
I love him. I love that striker. You know what it. So I'm not going to go for a win for anybody here. I think it's going to be a very tightly contested game. So I will go for a score draw because I think both teams will score. But I don't think Fulham or Bournemouth has the power to win against each other.
Okay, let's see what happens with Chukwueze. It might start or might not.
Should be getting some
UOB
game time.
is obviously going to start.
They are 10 now.
Yeah, Basi is going to start. Both teams are the rock. They are the rock of this Fulham team. But for Chukwueze, he needs to somehow build fitness and find a way to force himself back to the starting lineup. Because if he plays well for Fulham,
It's likely that AC Milan
it's likely that they are going to sign him permanently if he plays well. But you need to take up for his opportunity. It's not starting, but when you start, when you come off the bench and play well,
make an impact.
you make an impact for your team. Okay, let's get your prediction for that game. Bournemouth versus Fulham. Who wins?
Fulham edging it.
Who wins?
Bournemouth.
Okay.
I'll go for a draw.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. First game of the Premier League weekend. Okay, if we go to La Liga, Osasuna will play Getafe. Who wins in that game?
Osasu.
Draw.
Osasu.
I'll go for Osasuna. I think Getafe has not been
They're
good.
They're on fire
So, yes,
recently,
yes,
and
not
Getafe
my
is
edge.
not really it's not really a team that you can just say you fear. So Osasuna all the way.
Okay. Finally in Serie A, Verona will play Sassuolo. Who wins that game?
Draw.
That's another very
Very low
budget,
table game.
low table.
So but I think I might still give it to Sassuolo. They look a bit stronger than Verona.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what happens in these games. This game that will happen today. Okay, before we go to the Nigerian MPFL and the Under-20 World Cup, let's go to our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Bolt FM Sports. And Chris Mario is here. Chris Mario said that he's going to be with all of us today. Chris Mario, good morning to you. He's saying good morning, guys, in the studio. Okay, I can see other comments here. Please remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Bolt FM Sports. Anytime you are not in Enugu, always join us live on our YouTube channel. Okay, which one will you do first, the MPFL or the Under-20s? We could not choose one. Okay, let's start with the MPFL because MPFL is important to us. For yesterday's game, let's talk about yesterday's game before probably we'll now move to the game of the weekend. Abia Warriors beat Remo Stars 2-0. Remember, both of them played a continental football and Remo Stars moved to the next round of the CAF Champions League.
Abia Warriors, they're the best.
So they can't use
you win
best.
league last season, you still want to go Champions League. They're the best.
They can't use best. I won that game. Fantastic game of football. I think that MPFL is improving gradually, but we still need to do more in our league.
Yes, there's a lot that can be done in the MPFL. We need to start prioritizing our league, and that means that anything that would dilute the viewership of the league should be taken out of the way. We've talked about it here. Playing games when the national team is playing needs to be looked at. We also need to look at sponsorship coming in and then better facilities for the players, because let's not forget that a lot of these players going to play continental football need to get prioritized treatment when playing, because you can go, maybe you are going for a trip outside Nigeria somewhere else. You need to have priority in traveling. You need to be able to get there early, rest, and then go and play the games. Not you are traveling to go and play a country play another team elsewhere, and you are moving close to the time where you should get there and play your game. You get there, you've not recovered from jet lag. You are not expected to go and play and put up a performance. So
At least they're flying.
I think they're
A
going far.
few clubs.
If they are going far,
But it's good for
if they are
them.
going far, they are flying.
My only thing, I'm not
If
too
you're
happy
going to
with,
neighborhood countries.
yeah, I'm not too excited with Remo Stars of late. They dropped in form, even if the league just started not too long ago. But for Abia Warriors now, I think beautiful one. If not for that penalty, that's a very edgy game. First goal came in, in 28 minutes from Emeka Obioma. Second goal came in 61st minute by penalty from Sunday Mego. 2-0. Yeah, but they are sitting pretty in fourth. Just between fourth and Remo Stars is 14th. It's just 2 points. But Remo Stars has 7
Season
points.
just this
Abia Warriors have 9 points. Rangers are in 17th. But I say kudos to
with
them.
5 points.
Yes, at home, 2-0 at home against Remo Stars, who is now suddenly a big name in Nigeria Premier League now. I think I'll give it to Abia. Beautiful game. Good job, 2-0.
I think there's this level of, I don't know if this is champions mentality, but in the MPFL, if you win the league this season, next season everybody will come out with full force against you.
Yeah.
Like you cannot do back to back on our head. It's not possible. We are also here to win the league.
I think that if I can remember team that did back to back,
Eyiba and Kano Pillars.
Those guys.
And when they did the back to back, it was basically the two of them because they were always going to CAF.
Every
They were
time.
not just going to CAF qualifiers. They were always going to the CAF. They will
Champions
make the
League.
group stage.
Go far.
They will
I
go
can
far.
remember that. I think
Eyiba played
Yes.
CAF Champions League.
It was a good memory. It was televised everywhere. I think
You'll
Nigeria.
be watching Eyiba
Nigeria-
beating
Yeah.
Giants of Egypt. I
I think Nigerian PFL fell off for a
No,
while.
no,
Because then when I was growing up, it was a big game. Like for them,
No,
to
no,
play-
no,
I think the
Yes,
problem now is everybody's focused on exporting players rather than getting the right
Yeah,
players.
it's
to
money
play for
time
the team.
now.
Everybody's focused on exporting players. Just once any scouts just come out, just make sure they sell like 5-7 players.
they make money they put for pockets.
Definitely.
The money where they made, they know they reinvest it.
In the
Club.
club,
In
yeah,
the club.
that's
That's
right.
even the problem.
But again, last night it was a good game.
Okay,
It was a good game in football.
Okay, this weekend features in the games in the MPFL. Bendel Insurance will play Nasarawa United, the league leaders currently. Tomorrow, that's the only game that happens tomorrow. Kwara United will play Abia Warriors on Sunday. Shooting Stars will play. Okay, this October 5th. Okay, only one game for tomorrow. Before on the October 5th,
Sunday.
On Sunday, October 5th, on Sunday, Kwara United will play Abia Warriors. Shooting Stars will play Plateau United on Sunday. Rangers International by 4 p.m. will play Katsina United. We're going to talk about Rangers in a while now. In a big one again, Enyimba will play Rivers United by 4. All the games in Nigeria is by 4. For everybody's playing by 4. Baru will play Warri Wolves. Bayelsa United will play Ikorodu City. Niger Tornadoes will play Kun Kalifat. El Kanemi Warriors will play Kano Pillars, and Remo Stars on Tuesday will play Wiki Tourists. Okay, let's talk about Rangers International and their wahala this year. If you look at them, what do you make of them? And even though we are going to play this game, but if you look at where we are on the table, Rangers have only 5 points. In the last 5 games, they have drawn, lost, won, lost, and drawn the last game. 5 games, just 1 win in 5 games. They are just 5 points on the table. The league leaders have 13 points, and you know that it means that in Nigeria MPFL, 5 points is like 13 points in the Premier League, because you are not going to cover
5
it.
points is like 20 points.
You cannot even going to cover it. Just how many games? 6 games in the season, and you are almost like 8 points behind the league leader. It's crazy, but we are going to play a game on Sunday. How do you make of this game? We are going to play at Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium.
For me, I just want to see the fundamentals, because if you want to talk about football, let's talk about sticking to the fundamentals, the basic principles of the game, which means that you prepare for your match, you train like crazy, you come on match day, and you execute to perfection. I don't want to see players that are not running back to recover balls, or players that are not playing for each other. Number one, let's talk, because if we can look up the table, look at people on there with 13 points and all of that. I don't want to bother about them, because if you do your own core fundamentals, if you do your part, your inputs, by the time you go 4, 5 games, 6 games, you look up and you're where you should be. But it's not about, forget about that first, because what is affecting us in this club is after winning that championship, like Nonso said, we exported. And then the club went there to go and recruit, I think, was it 11 players or so last season. It's not panned out, because you can sell, you can buy players, but when you sell, you can't recover what you lost, because you have people who have already adapted to a system, and every businessman knows that it's harder to bring in new people, train them, and get them to the part of where the other guys were. So I would say that we are seeing a rebuilding process, because these guys have lost key players, and we need to go back and judiciously find how we can implement those fundamentals. It's not nice to come to Rangers and come and see us play game, and we see that we are not putting in our best. It's not a good look. So we need to go back and judiciously guard those core principles.
For me, 5 points is possible. 15 is not good.
It's not good at all.
For Rangers, who are one of the big boys in the Nigerian league scene. They've been down for quite a while, and there's been some resurgence. They won the league. Like you said, now you win the league, you export a lot of players, you sell, they make money, but you're not getting back the same quality that you had before you when you won the league. So it's a problem, because you cannot say 2 draws, two wins. Not 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses,
Just one win.
It doesn't make sense. You are now 15. But like you said, 8 points in the Nigerian Premier League is far. You are 15th, and the guys are already there. Everybody can quietly follow the person to 12.1 with 1 point. So they have to start winning games, no matter what you see. And whenever you play at home, it's an opportunity for you to make sure with the crowd behind you, with everybody behind you, win your own games, go away and see how many you can win away and get many draws. So that's how they might not win the league this season, but let's see Rangers back in Europe.
We will not want
Sorry, not in Europe, sorry,
continental.
in Africa.
It's still our European football, the continentals. But again, I feel like I've said this enough, but I feel like these players are not playing to the best of their abilities. Because every game, match game week, you're changing the players who are starting. There was one of the time we were talking about Wobu and the rest of them, and all of a sudden you drop them to the bench and you're playing young players. You're bringing in a new, fresh set of players to come and play. It's not good enough. If you're going to implement young players, if you're going to infuse young players into this team, please try and make it sizable. That you see, as we talk about the big teams now, the European teams, if they want to bring in academic graduates, now 1, 2. Now only Ferguson get might bring in 6 at once. You get an Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger. Now you get might they bring in 3, 4 into the first team. The highest you can bring in as a young player or as an academic graduate is 1 or 2. 2 maximum per season. The next season you find another 2 you can infuse into the team, and gradually before you know what happens, after 4 years you have more of them in the team that you're bringing in 6, 7 of them into the same first team. It's not good enough.
You
because,
you do that to limit your song your low song cost.
and I think
in
that's what has
bringing
cost.
these guys in.
And I think that's what has cost Rangers this season. And it cost them last season, towards the end of last season, and it's costing them this season as well. And again, this is it will be very bad for Rangers not to qualify for the Continentals, be it Conference League or Confederations Cup or
Not the Conference League,
Confederation Cup and a Conference League.
Conference Cup and the Champions League.
Even if because we don't, they send our first two league with
I think they knocked us out in the first round.
First round.
When we won the
You
league
calm-
away.
you
Calm
calm
down.
down.
As champions, we should have
You calm
been
down.
sent straight to group.
you come down.
I'm still raising that petition. They should go and look into that thing.
Take it up
They
with
should
CAF
go and
and
look
FIFA.
into that thing.
Okay, let's get a question for that game. Rangers should be winning that game, obviously.
It's Castina, they are coming here now.
It's
I agree.
Casino.
I agree. But
They are coming
let's
here.
just be hopeful.
We'll wait.
I would say
We'll wait
Rangers.
for them.
I want to go for Rangers win. Yes.
It's a team that we should be winning.
Okay, there are 3 teams that have not lost a game in this MPFL. Nasarawa United are unbeaten after 5 games, 4 wins and 1 draw. Enyimba is the second team that have not won. They have not lost a game. Enyimba have not lost a game. They have 3 wins and 2 draws after 6 games. The last is Rivers United. Okay, but these 2 teams are going to play. Second and third are going to be playing this weekend. Enyimba versus Rivers United. What is the operation for that game? It's a big one.
I'm going to be backing my Rivers United.
They go back to Rivers United now. But again, I think Nasarawa has lost 1 game. I think they lost the first game of the season.
Yeah, that's lost the first game of the
of the
season. I
season,
just
yeah.
checked, yeah.
Enyimba unbeaten.
Yeah,
Continue the unbeaten run. Again, I think the man that we almost wanted to gather hand and beat in the Super Eagles job has taken the Rivers United job. Rivers was there. So, but again, he's coming to play against an Enyimba side who has always
He's
been.
going
Who
to
has
be
also
beating the
been.
Imba side. Don't you want to?
I think I'll go for an Enyimba winning.
Enyimba winning this one,
Yes, I'll go
please.
for an Enyimba winning.
Anytime.
Okay, well, let's see what happens in the MPFL this weekend. I told you every Fridays we discuss a little bit about MPFL, how we are going to improve, because when we keep talking about something, people will be aware that there is a league, because now everybody's talking about Europe, Premier League, nobody's
They're even talking about Conference League.
nobody's talking about our own league. So we have decided to every Friday we'll promote it and talk about especially our own darling Rangers International and other games that happen throughout the MPFL. Okay, let's go to quickly to the FIFA World Cup, because yesterday Nigeria beat Saudi Arabia 3-2. We lost the first game of that tournament. Now we needed 3 points and we scored a final minute penalty to win that game. If not, almost it's supposed to be draw, but Daniel scored the penalty in the 94th minute to win that game against Saudi Arabia, 3-2.
Yeah, I want to say kudos to them. And they're third on the log, and with the likely chance of qualifying as a third team. But the first 2 teams already have, I think, 4 points each. That is Colombia is 4 points, Norway 4 points, Nigeria 3 points, Saudi Arabia 0. So it's going to be a tight one. I think I'm not seeing the fixtures for who Nigeria is playing. So
It's probably
if we can-
Colombia. They lost their first game against Norway.
against Norway. So if we can, that means it's going to be a problem, because Colombia will not want to lose against Nigeria. So if they do that, if Nigeria beats Colombia, Nigeria has 6 points. Nigeria may be topping the group.
Yes.
But Norway might likely beat Saudi Arabia. So with this, it looks like Nigeria just need maybe a draw.
Everywhere they
Just
go,
a draw.
calculator.
Let's
To be
Everywhere they go,
But what-
calculator.
that's what-
Wait,
that's
see
what-
how-
It's crazy.
That's why
man.
it means that if they rather win against Colombia or draw.
Did you see
So
the game
Colombia has
against?
13.
Did you see the game against? I think the game against Norway, 1 goal, 1-0. They lost by 1 goal to 0. It was a game of, hi, now Norway, now here Haaland from come. You just say we go fit play. Like you could sense the fear in the players.
But those kind of countries have a good academy, a good under 20
Thank you.
teams.
Nigeria has a very
It's
good
not just.
under-20.
It's not just
Where-
by
which one?
name.
You-
Nigeria
Are
have.
they 20
Please
years?
come again.
Let's
Say.
continue.
Come again. Say.
Nigeria has a very under 20 setup.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Even if you because there's a question you ask now, boy.
I didn't know.
Are they
It's
20
fine,
years?
yeah.
Okay.
That one is by the way. Please, what's his name? Also,
Yeah.
please, how many players did you say that, what is his name? Ruben Amorim bought?
4.
Sometimes, sometimes
4.
like,
He signed 4 players. He signed 4 players.
4.
Yes.
I bet who signed Doku?
Now 4 now. Who again?
Dogu.
Who
Sesko.
signed Fernand Lemens? Who signed Fernand Lemens?
Okay, 5.
Okay, 5.
5.
Who's that?
The goalkeeper. The new goalkeeper.
Okay,
The new goalkeeper with the sign. The new goalkeeper with the
The
sign.
goalkeeper don dey keep for una.
We don't know now. Ain't no the.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's because the Marinakis is Petroid. That's why they decided to sign me. But now,